Namaste, beautiful souls. I can feel you all. You're right here in my heart. From that last video, I really could feel the love and support and receiving so many messages about how my channelings and videos and the love that I am is helping you. It's done something to make my energy go even higher. And so, first of all, this bird that's been around trying to get in with a few sessions actually now, a few sessions it's been trying to get in the window or the door. Something's happened inside of me where I feel like I've cracked through another layer of the mind, and I feel even more high frequency, and I'm able to access more light, more wisdom, the goosebumps, the energy. It's insane. Whew. It's really hard to describe in words, but I'm sure you're feeling it. This is love. This is the light. This is consciousness. This is the truth. And the reason you're magnetized or in resonance to being here with me is because I am mirroring all of that which you are to you. And then you're getting to access more of that light, and you're cracking through and breaking through patterns of the mind. And so this today is huge. This is a big message from the angels because I'm accessing huge wisdoms. And recently I've had a session with someone. So in my sessions, I have the ability to connect fully so that I can understand the way in which a person perceives and experiences life on earth. And from there, we can heal anything, because whatever's willing to show itself, we can start to work with and dissolve. And so that's why it's important for me to be empty and to connect so that I can feel. And this client, incredible. We went to the highest frequency. Yeah, if I cry, it's tears of love because of the immense amount of love that's coming through. It's tears of this energy that's coming through. We went to the highest frequency that you can still be separate. So you can still have the separate experience of a soul before you go back to the oneness. And I bring that frequency through the wisdoms, the words, and the light to you today. So this message is for everyone that is ready for high frequency activations and expansions and breakthroughs through the veil of the mind. So the angels have 3 topics, and then I'm going to answer a question that someone's recently asked. So 3 things that are currently in the field right now that are coming up strong and that we are getting an opportunity to break through and work with. First of all, the angels are saying triggers, triggers, triggers. And the way in which they're speaking about it is they said, when we start to see our outside reality as a teacher, as every little thing, everything that happens is a teacher, is a mirror, is a reflection of our perception, of the state of our mind and emotions. And so those people in your life right now that are triggering you, that are triggering emotional response, that are triggering thought patterns, maybe you're comparing yourself to them, maybe you're judging, or maybe they're just annoying you. There are so many layers and levels to which people can trigger. Take that trigger to heart and learn through it. Because your triggers are your greatest teachers, your greatest mirrors. They are showing you parts of yourself that either you are resisting and not wanting to see, like the shadow, or they're showing you parts of yourself that you haven't yet uncovered. So, over these next few days, really pay attention to when you feel emotional around a person, or what your thoughts are when you think about that person, and take it to your heart and look inside and notice what you're learning about you, because it's all for you. They're playing their roles perfectly for you, for your spiritual growth, for your deeper connection to consciousness, to your soul. So, another thing that's coming in is around this is leaking energy out. Pay attention to those that you are putting before you, or that you're thinking about so much, you're worried about them. You know, when you're worried about someone, you send like a jagged-edged frequency wave to them. Worry is a low frequency. And if you're worrying about them, you're lowering your frequency. And that energy creates a leakage. So you're actually draining energy out. You're sending energy out. And it's not the best of energy that you're sending towards a person. So if you're worried about someone, instead of being in that energy, here's a wonderful tool. Ask the universe to pour light on them. That will help them way more than your worry. It's going to change your energy. It's going to change their energy. It's powerful. Also, about the leakage of that energy, you'll find that you'll feel drained. So you'll know if you're leaking energy out. If you feel drained, you feel unmotivated, you don't have enough energy. If any of those symptoms are showing themselves, pay attention to your mind and your emotions, and where are you sending and who are you sending your energy to? You are sending your life force. Don't send your life force. Send universal energy, because it's abundant and infinite. Ask the universe to support those others rather than draining your own life force energy. Second point. The third point is the most profound and the most incredible, mind-blowing thing that I've got to share with the human race, and I feel like this should be taught to us from a young age. It's life-changing. So let's just go to the second one. It's about money. There's a huge constriction of money. There's still beliefs inside us of scarcity, unworthiness of money. We're giving money too much power. We're actually giving our energy to money, and then money has a hold over us. Whereas actually money is very abundant. It's mind-made. So we made it up. It's not real. It's as real as this mind-made dream. And so, you know, stop giving your power away to it, but rather know that it's part of the mind-made dream, and it's abundant. So you deserve it. And it comes in all forms and all ways, and it is always coming towards you because there's such an abundance of it. So just notice if you have any blockages towards it. What are you not believing in yourself around money, and why aren't you deserving of it? Because it brings such freedom. So it's very interesting because there's an ego way to work with money, and there's a very spiritual, expanded way to be with money. And I went to America, and I spent some time with a group that were, I'd say, third dimensionally minded, ego. They spoke about things like, I can't even remember the word they used. It's like, anyway, it's about high ticket sales, something about that. And it's about, so you charge like thousands of dollars for your service, and it's about all this. And I kind of just watched it and observed it, and I was reading and feeling where it's coming from. So when something comes from the ego, it's driven from fear. Always when there's a lack of, I don't have money, then I need to like get out there and manipulate this world and draw money towards me. And I don't resonate with that, but I do accept it because everything has a place in this world, and it's so cool that consciousness gets to have its different experiences. And so I think it's cool that there's people out there that are having this approach and making loads of money and having a blast. Like, great. For me personally, I've spent it's lifetimes. My grandmother was born in Germany, and she was Jewish, and so her husband at the time was a non-Jew, and he helped her to get out of the country and get to South Africa, which is where then I was born. And so there was a lot of scarcity in my ancestry, and I've done a lot of ancestral healing and a lot of work with like scarcity and non-deserving with money, till I got to this massive expansion place where all that energy and focus on money like no longer exists, because I just know what it is and that it flows and that it's needed in order to like, well, right now my house, I've got holes in the roof when it rains, and we have massive rain in rainy season, and we need to get this fixed. So I need money for that. My cars aren't working, I need money for that. So I'm becoming more accepting of receiving it, and so that I can do these things and fix the home and all of that. And it's just so interesting to observe how we will suffer because we don't want to be greedy or whatever it is, these different patterns that are showing up. But then when we have the realization that money is mind-made and we don't have to give it so much power, it's just part of the daydream, it's part of this dream. So then it starts to flow because you're not believing all the stories around it. And it's beautiful and it's energy. So it's coming up strong in the energy field right now. So individually look at how you give your power to it, where you're blocking it, and give yourself space around it to just recognize that it's energy. And when you are living from your heart, when you're doing what you love, then be open to receive it through what you love, because that is what's needed in the new world, in the fifth dimension. All of us need to truly say yes to living from our soul purpose and yes to the money coming in from what we love doing. That is the way we're going to raise the frequency living in the fifth dimension. And the bird has just arrived and just made a sound to say yes. So that's something we're all working on, and let's continue to dissolve and work with it and open up to the abundance that's available. And now for the third one. I have been shown that place, that dimension where we can still have the individual experience. We're still the soul, but we're in the highest frequency of love and light just before we go back to God, to consciousness. It's the same place that we enter into. So first we are oneness, we are consciousness. And then a spark of light releases from consciousness, and it goes into this high frequency level where there are high frequency level souls that are there to welcome you into this new experience of being an individual light. And then we lower our frequency through all the different levels and layers and dimensions until we can have the experience of incarnating into a body to come into the third dimension. Many souls enjoy vibrating in the fourth dimension, where you're not in a body and you are a guide, where you're able to help others who are on earth and you guide them. If you've lived this type of incarnation, you'll notice that you're a natural guide and teacher in your current life. And so there was a time on earth where Earth was a high frequency before it plummeted down, and there were floods and all sorts of things, and there was death and then rebirth and then different lifetimes. So that there was this time where it was so high frequency that witches or like healers, light beings, had the third eye so wide open that we were able to use our mind power. Now remember how powerful the mind is. The mind is creating all of this, All of this that we imagine, we are creating. So we were able to use mind power through the third eye to move to different countries just with the thought, just with that frequency. We were able to focus through the third eye, put all of our mental energy, our emotional energy would match a certain frequency in that area, and would be able to like teleport and just be there. This was so incredible, and it was natural. And then these powers, people realized that they could kind of capture us and harness this energy that we had and kind of work with it and use it. And then they would draw the energy out of the third eye, and it stopped us. And many of us were actually killed, and we lost our ambition to live because we lost so much power from here. So then it stopped us from being able to use mind power to travel and experience all these other energies. But we are able to access it again through meditating, bringing awareness to the third eye, bring it into the brain, and just meditate and breathe and be in here. Dissolving all those fears around flying and moving and energy, and believing more and more in the power of the mind. But it has to come from the heart. So anyone who's got some lower frequency energies or doubts or wanting to use it to manipulate won't be able to access it. It is so high frequency, and it has to be done with pure heart, pure love. So it is available, and it's just coming available. It'll be wonderful to see, if it happens while I'm alive, or if I get to experience it. And let's see how we expand, and if you get to experience it, or you might be already having some glimpses of it during dream time, where you go and you visit a family member or someone. I know in dream time I'm visiting some of you. And if I have visited you, please share in the comments. I'd love to know. I know that I really, like, dream time's coming on strong for all of us. I'm seeing it. So with this activation of the third eye, and there is this, because we're only limited by our beliefs, and so if we're expanding our mind and expanding our limitations to becoming more infinite, then something can happen. So if you want to go visit your parent and they live in another country, and if you can tap into the emotional state, that exact frequency of what it feels like to be with them, then you can start to feel yourself there, and you can have kind of like a daydream experience of being there. You might start to see geometric patterns and colors, and you kind of like daydreaming. You feel like you're awake, but you're asleep. Your eyes are closed. You're kind of in meditation. This is like the trance-like state that people experience during Reiki. And then you can be with them, and then they might send you a message and say, "Do you know what? I just felt you with me." So this is kind of like the first steps as we start to open and experience. Now, as we start to open and experience this, we are then able to tap in to those higher dimensional frequencies, 4th and 5th and 6th, 7th, 8th, like even higher. And some of us are going to be able to tap into that highest of frequency, that where it's the last moment that you're a soul before you go back to consciousness. It's an immense amount of electric charge and energy that moves through the body. It kind of feels like you just cry with love, and it's so immense. And what the ego will do is feel a little bit scared because it's so immense. You really do turn into energy. I've had a glimpse of it, and it's amazing. And I'm bringing through so much light as I possibly can right now for you. So hold on, because this is incredible. Those who are here to ascend, ascension means that you are able to release all emotional and mental attachments to this lifetime, so that at the time of death, you have nothing that you are attached to on earth, nothing, that you are fully accepting your death, and you consciously die, leaving out of the crown chakra. That means that there is no more cause. There is no more energy in the mind to create your next lifetime, meaning that the karmic wheel ceases to exist. So at the time of death, if you're completely free of all attachments to the third dimension, and you just allow death to happen, you die through the body, and you go up, and you will go into a very high frequency light, and you'll be in that high frequency. You have then passed from, you are no longer in the karmic wheel of cause and effect, which means you will not reincarnate with karma from a previous lifetime that you have to work through. It means that suffering will no longer exist. This is available to all of you beautiful souls, and we are channeling through Natalie because this is what we want to gift you with. To know this is life-changing. To know that as you continue to do the work, to dissolve the beliefs, to dissolve the shadows, and to dissolve everything that you are attached to, anything that you feel like you need in order to feel whole, it's not true. You are whole inside already. You are wholeness. And as you shed those layers and you dissolve, and at the time of death, you are completely liberated and open and ready to leave. There is no more mental energy. There is no more emotional attachment. And you soar into the highest frequency. And from that level, you become a high frequency soul that gets to consciously choose where you want to next experience. Your next lifetime will not be based on dissolving karmic energy from prior lifetimes. It will be consciously chosen. You could choose to be a guide or choose to learn in different dimensions, which then will move to higher dimensions where you can practice, teach, experience. So much becomes available. And this is becoming available to you beautiful souls, you that are here, you that are ready to listen and hear this message. You are here for ascension. This is for you. Suffering will cease to exist when conscious dying is happening abundantly on the earth. I love it when the angels take over my body and speak through me. Woo! Amazing, amazing. So much love, so much love. Yeah. This is it. When we're not running from the ego, like being scared and being pushed into taking action, when we're doing what we love and we're trusting more and more in life, this is the magic that flows. So I just want to check that I've shared everything. So just to remind you that cause and effect is happening in every moment, and that notice your external environments and pay attention to what's happening there. And for example, if you have a leaky pipe, then you are leaking some energy out, and that's something to look at. Like me with the water that comes in rainy season, right now it's dry, so it's not mirroring anything, and we're going to get it fixed. So it feels like I must have been fixing and working on it myself. But also things like if something like say a broken toilet and you're not able to flush it, so what are you unable to flush out of your system? What's clinging to you? It's all of this. Just paying attention, noticing the signs, and then learning and growing through it. Now I'm going to answer someone's question, and before I answer, it's an amazing question, and actually it's so aligned with today's message. So, and before I go into that, I'm very excited to share that it's finally landed. I was wondering why the 11th of May, why I couldn't find the right healer to have as my guest, and why it wasn't landing. And it was because of this. Because on the 11th of May, it's Mother's Day in South Africa, it's Mother's Day in America, and it's probably Mother's Day in a few places in the world. And I'm actually not a mother, just to share with you. I was born really knowing that I can channel so much light and wisdom to help people to tap into their light and inner wisdom, that if I become a mother, I'll dedicate my life to the child or children. And so later on in life, I definitely wanted children and I was excited to do that, but I also really wanted to focus on my work. And then I got to a stage, my husband and I, where we decided, you know what, it just feels like we can support the other children and just be love, and we don't need to have our own children. And so I'm not a mother. I have 2 dogs, but that's very different. So, but I truly understand it, and I've helped many souls come be born through mothers. I help mothers with connecting with their souls before they come into the body, before they're born, and all of that. So I deeply am connected with it, and I really honor and love Mother's Day and think it's very special to spend time with your family, to honor that you are a portal of creation. You're magnificent. So this is why the 11th of May wasn't landing, and I always do my sessions on the 11th, but the 11th of May is not landing, so I'm going to do the session on Saturday the 10th of May, so that mothers can be with their family and not feel like, oh, but I want to be in the group. And so you can get all the incredible energy, all the wonderful energy for mothers and fathers, and every soul is invited on the 10th of May. And I've got an incredible healer, Ellen. Ellen is going to be joining us, and she's going to be gifting us something powerful, something high frequency. I don't want to share just yet. You'll know, you'll feel if you're meant to be a part of it. So I'll include the link below so you can sign up for the 10th of May group session. It's a 30-minute group session. And there's many of us all around the world that come together to go into this high frequency and to access the wisdom within and have profound healings and messages. So also, what's happening with me right now is because I've got the Reiki course starting tomorrow. My whole frequency is connecting with everyone who signed up, and I'm so excited to see you all and spend time together. This is going to be, I don't have words for it. It's one of the most profound groups that I hold, and because we're together for 4 days in a row, whether you're doing the recording or you're in the lives, it's the same. It's so deep and so powerful, and so I'm already starting to channel the energies for it, and I'm sure you can feel it. So I'm very excited to see you all. And then one last thing is that if you haven't signed up for Sacred Circle, some of you have been messaging to ask me the timing. In my calendar, when you go to book, it tells you the time in your time zone. So you'll see the time for you. The time for me in Nicaragua, which is Central Standard Time of Central America, it's 10 a.m. my time, and we're a full hour together for Sacred Circle, where I'm channeling messages and answering your questions, and we do a deep meditation. If anyone's ever done a proper deep meditation with me, then you know it's like receiving light codes and energy. So please give yourself time after the session to just integrate, because it is so deep and powerful. So those are all the invites, and I am now going to answer the question. So you wrote, thank you, Natalie and the angels, for this message. My question is, how can we step out of the third dimension into the higher ones? I'm going to let the angels channel through me for this one. You are already doing it. By asking a question this deep, you are already deep into the higher dimensions of awareness. Pay attention to how you feel in your body. When you feel vibrations, sensations, heat, cool, tingling, goosebumps, this is higher dimensional energy coming into the body, and the body is then raising its frequency, and it's adjusting and getting used to carrying more light. So then your mind also opens and expands, and you're no longer in the third dimensional mind of attached to the 3D world, You are then expanding into the higher mind, the higher fourth, fifth dimensional states, and you're able to access wisdom, insights, intuition, angels, guides, sensing, feeling, and hearing. Pay attention to your five senses, as this is a way of understanding and experiencing beyond this dimension. You will still be in a body. Your body is adjusting to the higher dimensions, and you will still have your ego mind. So sometimes it doesn't feel like a great big change. It could be a small, subtle change. And sometimes it is a huge, big change. But just really paying attention and knowing that it's already happening for you. So I just want to make sure it's fully answered. Oh, I can't read. The energy is so strong coming through. That's what they want me to say. Things like noticing that your eyesight's changing. If you have to read further away, it's because you're expanding your vision. If you've got tinnitus, that's what they call tinnitus, you're actually hearing different frequencies. If you've got physical dis-ease or different things happening to your body, instead of seeing it as, oh, it's a problem, it's actually your body having symptoms of being able to hold more light. And so it's adjusting and changing, and these are ascension symptoms. So love your body and give it all the support it needs, because you are shifting in frequency and opening to the higher dimensions. Now I can read again. So your question is, how can we step out of the third dimension to the higher ones? So they're saying it's not about stepping out. It's about bringing the higher dimensions in. So you want to actually be able to help Earth move from the third dimension into higher dimensions. Any soul who's awakening and on Earth right now is a part of this. You're here to help Mother Earth. And so it's not that you want to raise your frequency and leave and float and be with the angels and all of that. And that is very blissful and very enjoyable. But it's rather that you're being called to embody that light and bring it into your body and live it. Live through the heart, live through love. And it's not about thinking, oh, I got to be kind to people and I got to be loving. No, it becomes your nature. Your true nature is to be kind and be loving and not to judge and to have more understanding for where other people are at and all of that. That is our true nature. And many of you can feel that in my nature. And I've taken years to dissolve anything where I would see someone else as another. And I see everyone for the soul that they are. My friend said to me the other day, she said, Natalie, because she's like, oh, this person's irritating me, or, they're grating me. And she's like, with you just love everyone. And she's like, and it's so authentic. And the thing is, it's because I'm not pushing myself to love everyone. I'm not using my mind to force myself. I actually am surrendering into my true nature, which is all of yours true natures, which is love. And I've gone through so many stages in the past where the mind has compared or judged. And so just notice anything that's making someone separate from you, and it will dissolve. And because we are all one, I really see into the eyes of another and see the soul that they are, the energy. So I've gone off topic. So just want to read the question again, make sure I'm getting everything. So yes, it's about embodying the higher dimensions here, because that helps then Earth to raise her frequency. And that's what it's all about. We're here to all work together. And then the other part of the question is, does it involve healing and clearing work or some other approach to receive this upgrade? It is definitely about healing and dissolving, because you are already the upgrade. The upgrade is your nature. It's the truth of you. And then you've been encaptured by the conditions and the experiences of the mind. And so you're breaking through all of those. You're breaking through the veil of the mind, and you're setting more of the light that you are free, and being able to hold and embody more of that light here on Earth. And so, yes, keep going through the dark nights of the soul, the tunnels. Keep feeling the emotions. Don't run away from them. Give them space to bubble up to the surface and dissolve. this is part of the journey. It's wonderful. It feels so light after a massive contraction of deep, uncomfortable feeling. Then we get to experience the expansion, and we're not attaching to the expansion, and we're not resisting the contraction. It's just life. We just see it as it is. So you get more and more comfortable with what is already arising moment by moment by moment. I am getting a yes to your other part. So that is like the one approach. Which is, the light worker who's a warrior able to see the dark and not scared of it. It means that nothing, no fear can run in your system because you're open to face every fear. That's what it means. The ego then can't push you and force you to react to your environment or to it. And then you change your whole frequency that way. And then the other approach to connect with the light that you are is to sit and be in the observer seat, to be the awareness that you are. So to call all the light of your soul into your body and to be as present as you can. And sometimes I find myself going, where am I now? Where am I watching? Where am I experiencing life from now? So use this tool and catch yourself. Like when someone's talking to you and you're listening, you're like, how deep am I listening? Where am I listening? Where am I feeling from? Like really paying attention. The more you do that, the more light is able to like crack through the veil of the mind and vibrate out and be present in your life and in your mind, because it's always present in your body, because it is you. So presence is another way. And awareness, being aware. So you're not trying to silence the mind, you're being aware of the mind. Because the more you try to control the mind, what are you doing? Feeding the mind. And then you get caught up and it gets very entangled and really uncomfortable. So yeah, I feel like that's a lot. That's a lot. You might want to listen to this a few times. I would love for you to, anyone who's in resonance with me, please subscribe, be here, part of this community, so that you can receive more love, more support, and add your hearts and comments. I love it. I read all of them, and we're all connecting so deep. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your light, and I channel Reiki to you now. Oh, enjoy. May the Reiki help you to integrate all of the wisdoms and light that have come through for you. Namaste.